Alex, I just woke up at 7 a.m. in the morning. Good morning. It is midnight, well, almost midnight here. But it is the one thing about the Vegas track, it is beautiful. It is 10 degrees right now, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. The track temperature is 13 degrees, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity is 24%. So it's still low, but it has increased 5% from the beginning of FP1. Take it as you want. It is still dry out there. I mean, we're in the middle of the desert. 2 p.m. for Velo, 7 a.m. for Duran. Track was about to open up. Pat is from Europe and it's 6:58. Why did VCarb do so bad? I don't know why VCarb did so badly. That is a good question. I haven't gotten a good answer for why. Uh, as some of you did basically mention, Valerie has a five place grid drop. What exactly is power unit components by entering a new energy store? So new battery. Welcome back, Dark. It's 4:59 p.m. where they are at. Dark thinks that they weren't trying, still messing with their setup. 11:30 in India. And we're about a minute to go before FP2 starts. Eric is on their way to school and looking for FP2. Probably be watching FP2 in school. No one tell the teachers. Is VCAR running a new suspension? I believe they're running a new suspension. It's a Red Bull suspension that will eventually be used. I believe, if I understood, will be used next year um, on the V carb. So it is green lights. We're off and going. Oh, so who is anyone coming out on track right away? Doesn't look like anyone is on track just yet. There's one car, two cars, and it's going to be Gasly, Ocon, Bottas, and Colapino. Going to be the first four out on track. F1 data is not showing what tires they're on. Joe is out. Are there any updates for Ferrari? There are. I can't really, off the top of my head, say them what exactly they are. There is a video in our Discord channel about the updates for all the teams, though. So Joe, Magnussen, Leclerc, Norris, Russell are next out onto track. Good morning to everyone who is there. It is now, now where I'm at, it is the 22nd of November. It's still 21st of November in Vegas itself. They're 2 hours behind where I'm at. It's just 10:01 a.m. P.m. I should say in Vegas local time. Right now it's 12:01 a.m. Central Time, and then those you in Europe and Asia is much further ahead of the day. Still early right now. Gasly, Ocon, and Bottas are going to be the first over the line and get first set times. No, I'll take it back. They're still on their outlap, so we've got a little bit of time before we get to any times officially on the board. Don't know what tires people are on just yet. The F1 TV, the F1, the official data points for what we've got. The F1 data is not showing, so that's a upstream issue with the data regarding tires. So left is Perez, Sonoda, Albon, Lawson. The only four have not pitted yet. So Gasly, Ocon have crossed and now starting. We'll see if this is actually a flying lap or they're going to try and do a second second go around to get temperatures of those tires. And that's one of the things that we may be looking for is that teams may be doing a second go around, not pushing the tires. Normally, you'd see like they go around to the outlap and then go on to their flying lap. Ultimately, what we're looking at is that potentially teams are going around twice to put a temperature into the tires and then doing their flying lap. So we've got some time before we start seeing. It'll be a few minute or two before we see times on the board. Policies of rabbits. A lot of people see rabbits. A lot of people I know have been calling it the upside down pig. Vicky watching this live stream work at the same time. No one's gonna come tell you. No one's gonna snitch on you, Vicky. Albin Sonoda finally come out, and data has finally started to populate. Everyone's on medium tires so far. Sergio Gasly and Ocon. They're going to be starting the 146. So these are not necessarily they're modestly to 139. So Gasly and Ocon look like they've gone around twice before pushing. If they're not pushing again, if we see another lap of the 146, then they're doing some sort of race simulation, some sort of like something not doing a quality run. Bottas has gone P1, has now been replaced by Magnussen P1, Colapino's P3. Zhou is going to come around. He's going to go third right now, but that will be replaced. That was a 142, so not necessarily a great lap. Magnussen did a full purple lap, 137, and he's pushing again. He has, I think, Colapino in front of him he's got to deal with. It looks like he's doing a good push lap. Norris comes in third around. And again, these times, this is more garbage time. I would say we'll see another 5 minutes where people actually go around again and then do a good push lap. Ocon's P1 at the top of the board right now. Sainz the seventh. So again, 142. So again, we're looking at not necessarily fast laps. Gasly's passing. Is he going to pass? Colapino passes Sonoda on track, so he's definitely on a fast lap at the moment. Perez and Lawson are out on track as well, so everyone's out on track. So we've got traffic in dealing with. Russell doing 136, which is close to the 130, though it was a 135 in FP1, so it's got time to get there. Hamilton doing 135.8. Russell did a 136.4. Oscar did a 136.7. Hulkenberg did a 136.4. Hulkenberg in P2. That's an interesting. Scott is reporting that there's an issue with Perez's helmet when coming in. That's not good. Can't afford Sky, and in my country they have all of the rights, so you're saving me here. I mean, don't get me wrong. I started watching these streams before I started watching F1 TV myself. I was watching actually ESPN Plus. Clerk having a slide before going across the line. view of Max at the moment. We have yellow flag, and that yellow flag has been resolved. So that means someone has gone off the track and come back on. So no incident, no crash. Leclerc had a fastest first and second sector, but did not get third sector and end up only P4 136.587. He did improve in his third sector, though. That's the crazy part. He's only fourth. Again, right now we've got Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Russell, Leclerc, Oscar, Sainz, Verstappen, Alonso, Colapino, and Ocon on the top of the board. Yeah, Max saying it wants grip. Again, they are still rubbering in this track. I mean, this track is still relatively green. I mean, it's a street circuit, but it is relatively green. I've been told there was another uh, racing series here this weekend as well. But it's not. I don't know what it is. It was briefly mentioned on F1 TV, I believe in the, but I don't know who else it would be racing, and it's not something that's being televised by F1 TV. So I don't know if someone else knows what's going on. Please throw it in the chat for me. We again. It is 10 p.m. now. 10:10 in Vegas. Norris just went with a P1 with a 130. I want to say 134. 879. Yeah, 134. Not sorry, 979. The Summer Show was in Vegas last weekend. Oh, that's interesting. Fellow pointing out, this is the third of three races. We do have a sprint race next weekend, so there is that one sprint race. Is it an F2 or is it F1 Academy? I don't know because they're not. Ooh, replay of one of the Haas's doing a slick turnaround in the turnout area. Interesting. If it's FP2, I don't know why they're not being shown on F1 TV. Which turn it? I think that's turn. I want to say that maybe turn 11, turn 12. They're showing. It's really cool because again they're going across the venue logo, the Heineken 00 ads, and then the curb, which is basically black and white, black with the black and white with the roulette wheel numbers going around. That's one thing about this track is really cool is that there's the touch of details. Curbs have the card suits on them. Just saw that the roulette wheel numbers around one of the big turns. And again, they're going down the strip, and that's just insanely awesome view just to watch. And then there's that sphere, incredibly awesome, incredibly cool. As I've been talking, we've got Russell at 134.979, first in the 134s. Sainz at a 135. Hamilton just above 135. Hamilton did a 135.838. Norris a 135.4. Leclerc 135.5. And then Perez 136.2. Hulkenberg is pit. Alonso is pitted. Magnussen's pit. Albon's in pit right now. Looking right now. Again, I just got Sainz with that P2. Hamilton about to come across. He's going to be P3. Oscar's coming around. That was not a fast lap. Best way to describe it. Is he going to push or is he on a program? He may be on a program. He's not improving his times in P2. Hamilton is cooling down after a fast lap. So Oscar just passed him on track. He's about to pass Sainz. This is supposed to be a fast lap, but he's not improving his time in Sector 1. And if you have Russell right now on F1 TV, they've got Verstappen on a secondary window. Russell's going to go with a new fastest lap, a 134.657. Oscar does a 135.819. Yeah, he did not improve at all in Sector 1, but did improve in Sector 2, Sector 3. Again, everyone's on medium tires. Sonoda's out on maybe with new tires. We have a yellow flag again. And that has resolved. So that was in zone 2. DRS was disabled in zone 2 and is probably will be back now. And that is that looks like Max. Again, that was in Sector 3. Clerk just went P1 with a 134.605. Fastest Sector 3. He's been on those mediums for at least 8 laps already. "15 minutes have gone in this session so far. Again, 45 minutes left to go. You're listening to the Racing Seats YouTube channel. This is Grash with you live with coverage of the Vegas FP2 pre-practice 2. Again, it is Vegas, baby. Right now, looking at the board, we have Leclerc on a fast lap. He's again going to go P1 134.605. Who else is cooking right now? Down? No, not really at the moment. We've got Hamilton maybe on a fast lap. We've got Norris went into the pit. Oscar, yeah, this is right now we're in a jumble of people doing. A lot of people who are out are not on fast laps. Here comes Perez across the line. He's not going to improve on his times. He improved in Sector 1 a little bit, and he improved in Sector 1, but not in Sector 2, Sector 3. Replay of Charles Leclerc. He is so dangerously across that turn 5 T-Mobile area. At some point, T-Mobile is going to pay off, and someone's going to hit that wall. Another replay, I believe this is Checo. It was a shot of Checo not making his turn. Vicky, tire set on the free practice didn't count for the quality race. Well, no. I think we want to readdress how to think about in terms of tires. When going in the weekend, the teams are going to have a set of tires that they are given there's a set of tires that they are given for the whole weekend. So that's why when we saw Red Bull go out with the soft tires right away, that was kind of interesting. Like right now we're seeing we again so far in this practice we've seen only medium tires. But we've seen the soft tires come out. But we have not seen the hard tires get used yet. And that's interesting that we have not seen any hard tires as of yet. And that's an interesting question. That's an interesting question why we have not seen a team use a hard tire for pure data purposes. Colapino is going to be the first on a soft tire in this session. Why is Max about giving me a heart? Because this is Vegas, and if you make a mistake, it will punish you. A lot of drivers are not are missing turns. They're missing turns and they're going off the track, coming back on. Max just went around. He just went up to a P7. That was be a 135.834 lap. Now, just because they've used a tire, now granted, a lot of these teams are going long on these tires, so we wouldn't see these tires get used again. But if they like went out, one of the things, particularly with the hard tire, is that they like to scuff up the hard tire so that the shine is off it. The theory is that, particularly with the hard tire, once you get that shine off, the factory shine off the tire, basically it's faster to get that tire into its working operation. So that's why you might see team go out, do 2-3 laps on a hard tire, come in, take them off, put another set on. Why is Verstappen slow? He's not. Yeah, it's a 1.3. I don't think he is pushing the car. Like he did his best lap is a 135.834. Um, and this last lap was his best lap so far. Um, we'll see that as we go along. How long has he been out for? He's just pitted though. Yeah, he went 10 laps on a medium tire. I mean, that was just to see degradation and whatnot, most likely. So, um, 3 are left on the track. That would be Sainz, Stroll, and Colapino. If you guys have questions in chat, now is a great time to throw them in. Todd saying Max is the master, never questioned his approach to setting up his car. Why is Alonso the greatest driver of all time? No, he's not the greatest of all time. Oh no. He's great. He's not the greatest of all time. There we can point to Hamilton, we can point to Schumacher. I mean, he's a very good driver. He is, but he's not the greatest in his generation. Why do you glaze Lando? I'm not sure what you mean by glaze Lando. It's not like a. Are you talking? It sounds like a. Are we turning Lando into a donut? My apologies. It is 12:21 a.m. where I'm at. What is the temperature right now? Air temperature is 13.3 degrees. That's what we're getting here. Track temperature is 13 degrees. Air temperature is 11. So 11 Celsius. It's cold. Let's put it this way. The guy who delivers my pizza is the greatest driver of all time. Now that's a different type of greatest of all time. It's Cola Pinto, not Cola Pino. I mean, the way you're going, it sounds like Cola Pina Colada to me at this moment. Would you rather watch La VS or Madden Tommy? Oh yeah, no, I don't like La VS. His stick. He has a stick where he pops out of puts his camera in his attic, and he pops up into the attic, and it's just stupid. Rather deal with Matt and Tommy. In fact, Matt, and I'll be honest with you, Matt and Tommy, they've got legs. I mean, Sky Sports is starting to hire them. They're starting to show up on their podcasts at Sky Sports, so that's a big deal. Plus, I'll be honest with you, seeing Matt be insufferable as a Tifosi is hilarious. Do you think Max will come back and win? This is just practice, so we're early, early on. I do like F1 Unchained. They do what F Unchained what does really well is that for every race, he figures out who's brought upgrades and explains those upgrades very well. And he's actually one of the people I look for now going to races. When he posts his video, I get that into Discord for our community. So F1 Unchained is really good. Thank God it's Friday. They can't get Albin's car started. That's interesting. That's never a good sign. The practice race. This is not. Again, I want to like so HBK. I want to restructure how you're thinking here. This is not a race. It's just practice. In granted, there is. We're looking at the board. Who's at top? Like Leclerc right now did a 134 as a 134.476 lap. But in the end, there's no points for this. This isn't a race. There's no points. There's nothing in that regards. It is just purely practice. But like right now, Albin can't get his car started. That's not a good sign. Magnussen is P19 right now. There's reasons. There's stuff going on. If anyone would hits the wall, that's going to be an issue. So there's things that we can glean from practice, but it's not like again like everything will come together during quali and then the race itself. Or again, the other side of it is if we were like next week, um, it's going to be a sprint weekend. So the sprint is actually going to give us a lot of information who's got their act together going into the sprint quali and the sprint race itself. Mercedes like going to spoil the party this weekend. I mean, Mercedes always was in the top four already. The fact that this track, again, both for Ferrari and for Mercedes, the colder temperature suits their car better. Russell just did a new flying lap on soft tires, 134.015. Sector 1, Sector 2 fastest time, improved in Sector 3 times. Well, now we're seeing a mix of soft and mediums out now. I think everyone's on softs who's out. Yeah, everyone who's out, I believe, is on a soft tire. Don't know about Norris, Leclerc, or Sainz just yet. The data is not updating. Has not updated to it. Ooh, Stroll going very close to the wall. It almost looked like he hit it. Why Sebastian Vettel retired from F1? Ultimately, it was a personal decision. Basically, he had been in the sport so long, had done so much. Also, Aston Martin wasn't in a really great place at that time, and so he wanted to step back, be with family. Stroll just did a P6, that is a 135.625, and he's gone and done other things. Is Stroll done with F1? Not as a driver, yes, but I don't see. I can see him coming back in a different role, um, in a not a basically maybe as a leadership role, as part of a team. Being part of a team, but not in terms as a driver, but as another as a consultant to the team. So I don't think the last chapter with uh, Vettel and F1 has been written. I think he's going to come back in another role though. So, what are your thoughts on Alonso? Alonso, I mean, he's an incredible driver. He's always been an incredible driver. He's always been a crafty and I mean, he's a fox, to put it this way. And he is someone to keep an eye on. Right now, I know that his car is not doing him any favors. Stroll doesn't belong anywhere. Stroll belongs in any car or something. Ouch, ouch. That's harsh that you guys are trying to drop Stroll into IndyCar. Why does Sonoda's? I believe that's the indication that he's using a used tire. I got Don't hold me to it. That's what I believe what it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah. I'm looking at the F1 timing chart, and it hasn't updated correctly there with what tire he's on. So there is something with the data. There's something going on with the data when cars are coming out. It doesn't know exactly what tire they're on, and that's something that's from the source from F1. That's coming from the F1 source of data. So Drew and Vale joining a team for Le Mans, that would be really cool to see him do a Le Mans race. We've got about 30 minutes to go in this session right now. We're halfway through. Again, you're listening to the Race Statistics YouTube channel. This is Grash with you live with FP2 for the Vegas Grand Prix. Again, Vegas, baby. I want to thank the 2,270 who are here right now, the 245 likes. You guys are helping us with the algorithm. We've got over 133,000 subscribers on our way to 134 right now. Again, join the army, hit subscribe. Hit the bell. You'll get notifications when we go live. Again, we're going live for every session, whether it's practice, the sprint quali, sprint race quali, the race itself. Again, I know when we come back. So next year, when we come back for the preseason testing, we will have streams for that as well. So we're live for everything for F1. A garage full of mechanics and we can't start a car. Ouch, that's mean. That's true. Um, we got Gasly. I don't know. It's one of the Red Bulls. Gasly, is he complaining about? No, it's one of no, no. That's not one of the Red Bulls. It's one of the McLarens, and he's basically in the way of his lap. Doing, and that's one of the Red Bulls going in one of the that's Sergio Perez going off track and coming back on. It's hard to say Vettel was sucky when he was a four-time world champion. Just saying. That's a hard assessment to make. Does Max have a problem? Not necessarily. He's just not performing very well. Is he on a medium? Yeah, he's still on a medium tire. He's only been out for 10 laps, and it was only on a medium tire. So that is he's been surpassed by other people on a soft tire. Track's still cold. Oh my god, the track is. We're looking at a track temperature of 12.9, air temperature 11.3. I mean, it's cold. It's cold out there. It's cold across the United States as well. I mean, there's what we would call a polar rust um, that's through the area right now. I mean, it's Vegas is actually warmer than where I am living in North Texas right now. So to give you an idea, how that it was 39 degrees at one point last night where I'm living. So I'm in Texas. That's where that's not expected a lot of the times. It get cold here, but that's turn on the heat moment cold. Manchester gets 1-2 this weekend, and McLaren falls behind. What will it do for the world the constructors championship? 34 degrees here in Minnesota. You are 2 degrees from being frozen, my friend. But then again, you are in Minnesota, and you know that already. Again, Max will be the again. Will be they're going world champion unless he outscores Lando by 3 points. He beats Lando basically. 24 in North Dakota. Wow. Then again, you are in North Dakota, Scott, so you know what you're doing. I want to thank the 2,200 watching right now. You guys, if not subscribed or now's a great time to do it. If you haven't done a like, now's a great time to do it. If you subscribe, you have the bell. Consider doing that. You'll get notifications when we go live. Again, we go live before several minutes before each of the sessions with music, and then I come on about. I try and get here within 10 to 5 minutes before the session starts. No, something for Verstappen doesn't have an attire. It's just the data from F1 isn't correct, and so the data that we're getting here isn't correct. So there's something going on this weekend with when they leave the pits with the tire. It's taking a while to update that information. Lou's saying it's a hard show for Red Bull. Max is P16. Lawson is P17. Perez is P19. How Sonoda's P10. So but Sonoda's are one of the points right now. He's on an outlap at the moment. I may say hopeless, but I'm rooting for another Leclerc podium or possibly win. No, you're not hopeless. No, no, Carl. No, no, no. Don't feel that way. Leclerc actually has a good possibility of being on the podium this weekend. He has a potential for winning this weekend. Um, we just saw Norris do a 133.836. Another yellow flag, and that is I think that was in sector 14. I believe that would be one of the state drivers going off track is what caused it, or that maybe that was the previous one. We got another yellow flag, double yellow in track sector 7. Mm, and it's a red flag. We'll see what happened. What Clerk went close to the wall. We have a red flag. What is as Albin has stopped? My stream has not gone to what's happened yet. So we do have a red flag. Uh, it looks apparently that Albin has stopped on track. He is getting out of the car. So Albin has stopped on track. We'll see why. Or- Okay, so let's go back a little bit more. So I'm trying to figure out why. Sounds like you reported he had an issue. So Albin came out of the pits, and he hasn't been going particularly fast. How about take the wheel to Vegas? Someone will steal it. He's starting to pick up speed. So okay, so yeah, Albin had a it's just a mechanical issue. He didn't actually crash. He came out of the pits and just could not pick up speed, and managed to pull over where he could. So yeah, no, yeah, it's basically he will be out for the rest of the session. Let's go live now. See where they're at. They've pulled the car behind the wall. So the car is off the track now. So that's the most important piece right now. Um, we'll see. Do they have no lengthy stoppage? So yeah, again, he managed to park where they could pull the car off the track. So it is off the track. It's behind barriers. It's just a matter now when this track is going to go green again, and should be within minutes now. Have gone green. They've said track is clear now. It's just a matter of them saying when it will. They're going to go green flag for the rest of the drivers. Yeah, again, Albon did have an issue earlier. They were having issues with his car earlier on, and he was coming out for basically would have been an installation lap. And it looked like when he came out of the garage, he had no power. So now is a great question time to ask questions. If you have any questions about F1, what's going on, why the red flag though? The red flag is because Albin had to pull over to the side of the side and stopped. So in a practice session, that brings out a red flag. If this would have been quali or a race, that would probably have brought out a yellow flag. Jaden asks, has Stroll binned it yet? No, he has not binned it yet. And they are out. Stroll is now out on track already. So they've gone green flag. So we're back with action already. What's going on with the FI and the plank issue? So this is I don't fully what I understand is that several teams um basically added a metal piece to the plank in a way that protected the plank. Is that's basically the purpose was to protect the plank. Um, and I don't fully understand why it was illegal, but it ended up being illegal. And that's what I believe what Carl Lemmer is talking about, the FI and the plank issue. That is, you definitely go read again. I'm going to have to reread it tomorrow. But ultimately, they're going to have to basically four teams, I believe four teams that were known, potentially a fifth team that we don't know, used a particular method to with the floor and the plank, and it ended up not being a legal way of doing it. per the regulations. So, Gabriella, do you think Gasly would become the first full time F1 driver in history not to cost the team a single dollar in damage over an entire season? No, it's just one of those. Um, it's one of those. It's just so easy to cause a little bit of damage, like a front wing or something right now. If he pulls it off, that would be incredible. Don't get me wrong, that would be incredible. But the chances of doing that, like just like breaking a wing just by accident, but simple, that's a few $1,000s right there. No, no, I mean he could he do it? Yeah, he can. Is it likely? No, there's always a possibility something happens. But which teams were running illegal park? I know Ferrari was one of the teams. I believe Ferrari. Believe. Um, I know Ferrari was one of the teams, and I got to go back and reread the articles about that because I don't fully understand why it was illegal. And Ferrari was trying to keep it legal under regulation. Can teams avoid competing in free practice section? I'm not sure what you mean by competing. They are not competing against each other. And I mean, there is, the leaderboard, but ultimately those times have no impact on anything else besides the only thing that free practice that's important is that a driver takes place in free practice, um, so that if they end up if something happens in quali, they have a representative time that the stewards can then um, allow them into the race itself, and that's the only major piece about practice that, in terms of the race itself, that's important. Besides that, um, there's obviously penalties that can come up because if you do stupid stuff or you break your car. What is your website to see F1 timings like this? We're using I believe we're using multi-viewer right now for our timing charts, and the driver radio audio transcription is also from TeamViewer as well. I do also use the F1 timing chart on their website. So there is that as well. Again, Hamilton has just topped the board with a 133.825. Norris has done a 133.836. Russell's 134.015. Sainz 134.104. So those are the top four. Tire is T tire. That means we don't know what tire it is, and that is and it so normally that is the prototype tire, but right now what's going on is that the F1 data charts, so the data that F1 is displaying on their website is showing a question mark for data. So this is basically we don't know what tire it is for our purposes right now, and that is coming from that's upstream into the data source from F1. So it's something that's happening on F1 side, the not management, but like the stewards and that type of information. It's in the data source, is what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't look at the motorsports article. I know this came up during the weekend roundup, so they are named. There's other teams named, and it's not that the part was illegal. It was I wouldn't call it like it would be illegal now, but they teams had an opportunity to make changes in regards to that part. And that's the thing that how FIA has been managing things this year is that they are saying this is no longer legal. They find a loophole, a particular technique that people are doing, and are saying you can't do that. And then they're giving teams they're saying at this point that technique is no, you have to fix it by this point. Anyway, we go back to like the flexi wing issue with McLaren earlier in the season. There's other another the Red Bull had a there was a particular rule change that seemed to be targeted at Red Bull. I mean, each of those teams have had a chance. When FEI is basically saying this is no longer, they've been giving those teams a chance to make the changes to be in compliance with the regulations as being stated going forward. So yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, and that's result back to green. That means someone went off the track and came back on. Hamilton again, top of the board, we're 133.825. Norris is within 1/11th thousandths, so 0.011 behind Hamilton. Russell almost 2/10ths behind Hamilton, and Sainz almost 3/10ths. Leclerc half a second, almost a half a second behind Hamilton. So we've got, between P1 to P9 is 1 second, and then P1 through P16 is 2 seconds. And then basically we're talking about a quarter second to Perez, and then Albon. Albon has not set a representative time. He's almost 6 seconds off. So he's not set a representative time in this session. What tires of Lewis is on? He is on soft tires. I believe they are been used soft, so they're not new soft tires. What happened to Max? Nothing's happened to Max. Um, he's on medium tires. He has not gone to soft tires this session, as far as I can tell. So he's not. He hasn't used soft tires. So he's been on a different. He's probably doing a race run program right now because he hasn't gone to softs. No, Verstappen's not on the mud. He's just doing something that's not quality related. For all we know, Max's car could be loaded with fuel. Lando going off track and coming back on. So that is something that we're seeing a lot of, and it's not just too many drivers are going off track and coming back on. Do these practice times even matter? Within reason. One thing that again, Vid, is what it's not necessarily about the times. It's one of the things we're seeing is drivers going off the track and coming back on. You can't be doing that in a race scenario. And they're missing their times. I mean, it's not just we just saw Norris do it. We've seen Max do it. We've seen um, um, Checo do it. We've seen over half of the grid gone off and come back on. Again, the other information that we got, we saw that that Williams is having a huge problem with Albon's car. Remember, Albon crashed his car in Brazil, and they couldn't couldn't get his car back together in time for the race. So this is the first time we're seeing his car since Brazil, and it's not in good condition. They had a problem starting the car, and there was an issue of him getting the car up to speed. So there's an issue with that car that's going on. Max on a flying lap right now. We'll take a look at the charts. It doesn't look like Max is on a flying lap at the moment. He is not improving on his times. No one's improving on their times right now. The only one in the pits right now is Magnussen, and the only other person. And again, everyone's on medium tire except for Hamilton. Hamilton's 3 laps on that soft tire. Who's leading the Destructors Championship? I believe it is Checo, actually. I believe Checo is leading. I'm gonna have to go back and look, but the amount of destruction this season has been pretty impressive. In terms of the team constructors, Williams. Um, oh my God! Between not just so Cole Pino crashed the car in Brazil, that was 150 million right there. Um, Sargent did over 2 million, and Albin has done like close to 2 to 3 million. Um, so yeah, no, ultimately, I mean, like I know Perez is in terms of a single driver, it's Perez, but for a team, it's been Williams, and it's still not good. What is the blue sectors? That indicates that drivers are coming out of the pits. So right now, Magnussen just came out of the pits. No one's gone into the pits as of yet right now. But if you see it at the end of sector 3, that means they've gone into the pits. You can see Albin came out of the pits and couldn't get up to speed and then stopped on track. So you see the one lone red sector there. Again, yellow means that the driver is not improving in their best times. Green means an improvement in their best time, and then a purple means is the fastest in that sector or subsector. What is the max time? He's probably loaded with gas. He's probably doing a race run simulation. Because he's been consistent with a 135, 138. Last lap was a 138. That's more representative of the race. Yeah, I don't know what Red Bull's doing. I mean, that's probably the only thing we can indicate is that they're doing some sort of race simulation tonight. Who's the cleanest decision? Oh, that's again we talked about him. That's um, Gasly, I believe, is the one with no damage so far. We've got, what is it, 4 minutes left to go in this session right now. Again, you're listening to Racing's YouTube channel. Again, if you haven't liked or subscribed, now's a great time to do it. If you hit the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live. Again, we'll go live tomorrow for free practice 3 and for quali, and then on Saturday night for the race. Again, we are in the final three stretch. This is a triple header, the first of the 3 in this triple header. Right now, we've got Hamilton on top of the board, 133. I don't see anyone improving any times in the next few minutes or so. Right now, the board is all yellow, so they're doing some sort of, looks like race run simulation. Norris is second with a 133. Russell is third. Sainz is fourth. Clerk is fifth. Gasly, one of the Alpines. So we've got a yellow flag out. Yellow flag sector 3. One of it will be called Franco came off track. Logan wasn't leading when he was axed. No, he wasn't leading. No, the damage that the damage at Monaco that Checo took, put him really up high. Why is no one improving? Because at this point, they don't need to. They're ultimately basically doing a program that's not for quality. It's more a race run. No, Logan was axed because of the crash that happened when we came back at Zandvoort. And part of why that crash was so destructive, basically hit that barrier, and then the car stopped, and the car basically got lit on fire, destroying new parts they had just put on that car. So, did Red Bull come with any upgrade package? There were some changes to the Red Bull car fact, I know Max and Checo have different car specs, particularly like their like today, right now, they're the the tunnels around the side. Again, we've got again the yellow flag. It just resolved back to green, so someone came off the track and back on. They're different, and again, F1 Unchained has a really great video on that, and that's in our Discord channel. So if that's been posted there and on our media channel. So again, I know they have brought changes to the car. I know Checo and Max have two different spec parts, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not. Again, it's almost 1 a.m. where I'm at, so it is not on the tip of my tongue of what exactly is going on. Why he's still in the pits? Technically, he's not in the pits. His car is stopped outside of the track, and it will be coming back to the pits after the session. Oh, it's Stroll beaching. No, so the issue with what's worse driving, we have to do Stroll beaching in the formation lap at Brazil because he chose to go across the gravel pit when he had the access road to use. So Logan lost control of the car and crashed. At that point he's a passenger. With Stroll, he went to the wall and then turned into the gravel pit and got beached. Yeah. Did the ban affect Ferrari and Merc? It doesn't seem so. No. Again, the issue that again, as someone brought up in chat, is that the plank issue was about a piece that was being used to help protect the plank from damage. And that's part of the issue. Again, we have just hit the again. I'm gonna go let you guys go. If you want to know more about the plank issue, go read up because there are articles out there about that. Um, we have come to the end of this session right now, and if checker flag is out, is again, thank you, Arsh. Checker flag is out. FP2 is over. I don't think anyone is. Yeah, there is no one making any. There's no one doing a fast lap at this point. Uh, yeah, Oscar's going to come to the line, but he is going to be a checkered flag. And even still, that's not going to improve on time. So at this point, there's no one basically improving on their times. Um, I want to thank everyone here. I know there's 2,338 watching right now. I want to thank all that you are here. We got over 400 likes. Thank you so much. We are 300 subscribers with 134. We're on our march to bigger numbers. Again, if you haven't liked and subscribed, now is a great time to do it. If you hit the bell, you get notifications when we go live. As we finish, basically, we'll do Wrestling Statistics. Will probably the boss is going to play some music, and then when he stops the stream, you'll be taken to the FP3 practice stream. If you can give us a like there before you take off, that will help us with the YouTube algorithm. We liked seeing more of you in chat. I want to thank everyone here. Like Ease, one of our people who have joined. Again, is now 1 a.m. where I'm living. It is 11 p.m. Track time. For those of you who are already into Friday, have a good Friday. We will see you. Again, it'll be late Friday. Again, it'll be 8:30 again tomorrow for me, and then midnight for Quali. So, for those of you who have been up all night, that you now know what it's like to be an American, be an American F1 fan. For those of the rest of you, we will see you soon for FP3. Have a good night, good morning, good afternoon, or good. I'm going to bed. I will see you all again. I will see you again in FP3, and have a good night, everyone.